Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 Help.
That's right. Taylor 500 Help. Taylor Heating and Plumbing. Call them now for their Plumbing Safety Essentials Plus plan. Save $100 on a Bradford White water heater. Get free diagnostic fees. No overtime charges on emergency repairs with an additional 15% discount. You know, spring and summer season is here and they can help you out. Since 1947, Taylor Heating and Plumbing and Bradford White have been the most reliable source for all your plumbing and heating needs. So call Jerry. Set up anything that you need done in your home. Air conditioning, heating, plumbing, home energy, duct cleaning. Taylor will help you. That's why it's 500 Help. So do that. Precision Lawn and Garden. All kinds of stuff for your lawn. All kinds of push mowers and zero turn mowers and the big daddy of all mowers. Precision Lawn and Garden wants to make our surroundings look beautiful. 195 North Avenue in Webster, open weekdays 8 to 5, Saturday 9 to noon. Precision Lawn and Garden has been providing Rochester and the surrounding areas professional sales, service, and parts since 1969. So check them out. Precision Lawn and Garden. Buy your big daddy of lawnmowers from Justin or Kimberly. Make sure you support our advertisers because they support us. And a brand new sponsor, Kimberly's Revolution Express Sealers. Nothing makes your curb appeal look nicer than a freshly sealed driveway. And if you're looking for steady work and good pay, Express Sealers are the go-to guys. You can call them at 645-2010. That's 645-2010. They're the best and they're advertising here. So you know Express Sealers are the best.
Live from the We the People broadcast studio that represents the Max Free 7 podcast here in sunny Irondequoit, it's Kimberly Ray.
I just wonder if we can add any more names.
I'm working on it.
To whatever we've got going on. Can we? We
could make the open an hour.
So we've got the We the People podcast network. We've got Kimberly's Revolution.
Yes.
We've got Kimberly's Revolution fan page on Facebook. We've got the We the People podcast network on YouTube. We've got Kimberly's Revolution on YouTube, and you can watch this show on both those platforms, is my understanding.
Right.
And then we've got what else did you say?
Wait till the store opens, the online store for merchandise.
Okay.
That's coming.
Well, I've reached out to the guy. I wanted to wait until we got all set up with our brand new studio. I've reached out to Brian, who is the brother of a We the People podcast fan.
Nice.
And Angela.
We have those.
Angela listens and watches Kimberly's Revolution. So Angela, I reached out to your brother, Brian. He needs to get back to me. Don't make me come looking for him because he's the guy that's going to build our website.
Awesome.
He's the guy that's going to build our website, and then we'll have stuff up on a marketplace site for sale. So we can do Kimberly's Revolution stuff, and then we have other people that are under the We the People podcast umbrella, all hailing from right here in this studio.
Sweet.
And I have to say, I mean, stuff isn't built like it used to be built, right? We have this little clock on the wall.
You mean like the pyramids?
Right.
No,
they never break down. They're right there. But the clock on the wall is from China and it doesn't work. Right. Whatever it does,
the TV.
It's supposed to count us down, and the clock doesn't count us down. It just completely screws up and makes this loud, high pitch whining sound. And then the TV behind us you bought is a brand new TV, right?
Yep.
What kind of TV is that?
It's a Samsung.
It's a
from Japan.
Yeah, okay, there you go. It's one of those foreign jobbies. So basically,
Buy American.
The speakers blew yesterday.
Yes.
You've had it for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
A week?
Week and a half.
Yeah.
Couple weeks.
Brand new. And so when you turn it on, it makes this.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it
That's
does that.
exactly what it sounds
Exactly what it sounds like, and it
I got
drives me
scared.
crazy.
I thought I was picking up on the mic for a
Austin
second.
did
So
get
it's like a
scared.
poltergeist.
Yeah. I thought I thought it was. I didn't know it was you. I thought it was the TV.
Have you ever watched the movie Poltergeist, where it just
I
makes
have.
that
I was in it.
whatever? Today, Andrea says, "Hey, Kimberly and just Tom."
So,
That's
Kimberly.
Andrea. Hey, Andrea, how are you?
Kimberlina, I lowered my chair 3 inches.
Yeah, how's it make you
because
feel?
I don't know. I look really white. I
Like
mean, I know
like a
I'm really-
munchkin?
I look really white and bald.
Yeah.
So I lowered my chair a little. I have hair, right?
Yeah, you have hair.
I don't, so.
Good rendition of
And
that
then-
sound. Thanks,
and then I
Carol.
get home last night and Lori's like, whatever that spot is on the side of my face, or I don't even know what side of the face over
See,
here.
here's the thing. I've been in radio for so many years and so
Yeah.
used to not having a camera right in front of me.
Right.
I don't even know how to act in front of a camera. I mean, you watch TV people that they've been doing it forever, right?
Mhm.
And I don't even know what I'm doing.
So
I don't know where to look. I don't know where to look into the camera. If I look at you, if I look at
feel short.
Austin. I know Chad is going to join us a little bit later on.
Right.
We had a brilliant show planned. We still have a brilliant show planned. It is. What are you doing?
damn it. No.
You're going to leave? We don't have a brilliant show planned. He's out of here.
I'm out of
Lori
here.
says, "Hey, you all from sunny and hot as hell, Florida." Well, that's
It's going to
what
be
you
hot
get.
here tomorrow.
And someone is listening to us from Aiken. Somebody's listening to us from St. Pete. Is that Mimi from? We have another Mimi. How many Mimis do we have? St. Pete. You're listening in St. Pete, which I love. St. Pete Beach. It is beautiful there. We stayed there a couple of summers ago. They have the Don Cesar, the Pink Hotel. Have you ever been to St. Pete Beach?
I have, yes.
Have you ever been to the Don Cesar?
I have not.
Marilyn Monroe and that Yankee player, that Joe DiMaggio.
Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah.
That Yankee
That
player.
Yankee player.
Right.
They hung out there for a time. So when we went to St. Pete Beach, I told my husband we have to pretend like we're Marilyn and Joe DiMaggio. So I had a little bit of an issue. It's been a little bit of a morning for me because as I'm sitting outside, I'm doing my real estate work because we are realtors. It's Revere Realty here on Titus Avenue, and I'm a realtor. You're an appraiser and a broker, and you own the brokerage firm along with Chad Hummel, who
That's
is
correct.
also does the show with us. And all morning I've been working on real estate stuff, and it's been a crazy morning. I can just tell you. But I let my Marilyn Monroe, my Persian cat, out with me sometimes because she likes to be out with the dogs, and our pool is fenced in, as is our backyard. And I look around and I don't see Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe has, I guess, been able to get underneath the fence. So I'm like
So
looking.
she's a digger.
And I know, no, she's so skinny and so tiny. She
Oh.
can fit. And I didn't think she never goes off the deck. She just sits there and looks at the birds. But somehow for an hour, that cat was missing. And I was searching.
Panic attack.
I was having a panic attack
Yeah.
because I know what lives in the bushes, fox and coyote.
Mhm.
And a couple of years ago, I saw one of my feral cats that I feed in the mouth of a coyote as he ran through my backyard. And it freaked me out. So I knew, and I was like, oh my God, I can't find Marilyn.
Mhm.
So finally she comes,
Waddling
you
up.
know, prancing into the backyard. And I'm like, but yeah, so a little panic that I had to find my cat, Marilyn.
Sweet.
It's a little bit of a thing. The name of the show is today is called Gettin Boojee with Bitcoin.
All right.
Gettin Boojee with Bitcoin. We're going to talk to this guy, Charlie Shrem, here in just a couple of minutes. He was supposed to be in studio. He's making a movie in Rochester, though. So his schedule was a little cray. So we're gonna let him have this pass. But he was supposed to be in studio. He's gonna be on the phone with us, but he's in Rochester. He's a guy that actually went to prison for dealing in Bitcoin on a thing called Silk Road, which is the dark webs, right? And so what people were doing is they were taking the Bitcoin that he was selling them or laundering for them or whatever he was doing. And we'll ask him about it. He's been on 60 Minutes and he's been in prison. And, you know, people were taking the Bitcoin and doing illegal things with it. And then he was allegedly, I don't know, laundering it or whatever. But he is a Bitcoin genius. I mean, the guy has made millions off of Bitcoin, right? We don't
Mhm.
really know much about Bitcoin, but really what he's trying to do is give an alternative to banks and other financial institutions. It's a way to deal with your money and deal in the financial world without having to work with money or banks or any. There he is, right there. I think that is Charlie Shrem before prison,
So that's Justin Timberlake.
and it's a little
Or was
dark.
it Prince Harry?
He's a little dark haired to be, and Prince Harry is a redhead.
Well, the other Prince.
So, and then we have another picture of Charlie Shrem. I think that's after prison, and
It still looks like Justin Timberlake.
it does not look like Justin Timberlake. And this guy's been on 60 Minutes. I mean, Bitcoin is legit. It's just a lot of people like you and I don't really. I mean, it's not really accessible to people like us. I don't think we can afford it. How much is Bitcoin for just like one Bitcoin?
Like up somewhere around 50,000
to $47,000, right? There is a Bitcoin. We don't really know what Bitcoin is. I don't know what Bitcoin is. I just know that probably the people that hacked the Colonial Pipeline.
Wow, it's way down today. Maybe it's time to get in. Bitcoin's at 42.8.
Well, what have I been waiting for?
But you don't have to buy. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You
$42,000.
You can buy a part of a Bitcoin.
Okay, I don't like to share. I want my own.
You want your own coin?
I want my own Bitcoin. Can I not have my own?
Well, in Tom's just one good take today, we can solve that problem for you.
Okay, very, very good. So yeah, this guy has been on 60 Minutes. He has his own podcast, and he can tell us a little bit about that. He has been featured in a couple of books or a couple of movies, I think documentaries about Silk Road. Silk Road was this dark web site where you could go on and you could buy anything. You could buy anything, illicit drugs. You could probably buy people. You could buy kidneys. And again, he will tell us all about it.
Can you buy show ratings?
You can buy anything.
No.
And Silk Road doesn't exist anymore because I think all those guys, ultimately were busted and went to jail. He is even being sued by the Winklevoss twins. You know who they are, right? They were mad at Mark Zuckerberg because Mark Zuckerberg apparently took the idea of Facebook and ran with it. And the Winklevoss twins believed that they had a big share in Facebook and should have been paid out. Do we have the little 60 Minutes Austin video of Charlie Shrem when he was on 60 Minutes not that long ago? I think with Anderson Cooper.
Yes, we do.
All right, great.
It felt like I was riding a rocket ship that had no mission control. You were going up very quickly, but we were not thinking about what would happen when eventually we have to go back down. And for me, I dealt with the ultimate going back down.
You crashed hard.
Crashed really hard.
So he's the Wolf of Wall Street then?
He crashed really hard. He went right to prison. I don't know if he was in, prison per se. I know a long time he was on house arrest, but we can ask him about all that. Dogecoin is really big right now. It makes it, I think it's, and that's not really Bitcoin. There's like Bitcoin and is the other one called Ether?
Well, there's about 1,500 of them.
Okay.
So,
I thought I had a grasp on what I was talking about.
Yeah, there's
clearly
about
I do not.
13 to 1,500 different cryptos. Those are just the real popular ones.
Oh, okay. So there's Dogecoin. There's is it Ether? There's Bitcoin. Are they all kind of the Bitcoin? See, I don't really don't even know.
They all have a slightly different way that
they do business.
Yeah. So
it is really kind of Bitcoin. This is a question for Charlie. Is Bitcoin like just used by criminals on the dark web? Because I want to know, when Colonial Pipeline paid the cyber attackers the ransom, I assume it was in Bitcoin. It was $5 million. Do you think that was in Bitcoin? And by the way, there's a little problem with Colonial Pipeline. Their communication system went down this morning. Do you think that is just a coinky-dink? I don't think it was a coinky-dink that Colonial Pipeline's communication system, the way that they book their fuel trucks to go here and there, I mean, that whole system went down today. So it seems to me that there's a little bit of a problem with Colonial Pipeline.
All right.
and maybe, people, didn't really get as much money as they were hoping to get, the cyber, attackers.
Well, maybe they're just looking to get paid more from what's his name? Yesterday's show.
Who was yesterday's show?
Lost it.
What yesterday's show?
The other billionaire that cut his kids off.
Oh, Gates.
Bill
Gates.
Yeah, maybe they want some of Gates's money.
Well, no, but Colonial Pipeline is the one that was attacked and the whole pipeline was shut down.
Right.
That is why half of the South is still without gas. But now the way they communicate with their suppliers and their trucks and that whole thing, that just crapped the bed. So there's some
So
there's
it's a
some
good-
real issues.
So the bottom line, it's a good.
About 2:15. So should I?
Yes.
yeah,
good.
Austin, call Charlie Shrimp.
The bottom line is it's good to live in Rochester.
It is
Right?
good. I paid $2.95 for gas, but let me just tell you, it was
Whoa.
$1.87.
Hello.
There he is. Charlie Shrem, you're on Kimberly's Revolution from the We the People podcast network. And welcome to the show. Where are you right
Hey,
now?
Charlie.
Thanks for having me. I'm beautiful looking at Lake Ontario up here in Rochester. It's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. So first off, let me just, tell everyone, we've kind of been explaining a little bit about who you are, but you founded Bit Instant, right? It's
Yes.
Bitcoin. You're kind of like a Bitcoin genius. I'm going to call you a Bitcoin genius because I'm stupid about the whole thing. But you're the founding member of the Bitcoin Foundation. You were this up and coming guy. You were the guy that was all about Bitcoin, and it was getting bigger and bigger. And you went to jail. You got out of jail. You have your own podcast. You're married, and now you're making movies, right?
You just summed it up pretty well,
There
actually.
you go. I summed up your life in about a minute and a half.
Sounds
You
like
should
an
be a radio
exciting,
host.
sounds like an exciting ride there, Charlie.
It's been crazy. Yeah, it's been a crazy decade, actually. I'm like, this June, I'm celebrating my 10-year anniversary in Bitcoin.
Wow. I mean, it seems bizarre that that Bitcoin has been around 10 years because I think the average person, and let's be honest, Charlie, you're not average, right? I mean, you're above average when it comes to the whole Bitcoin revolution.
Sure.
I just heard about it a couple of years ago when the whole Silk Road thing, went down. And that, of course, made news because these guys were dealing in some bad, shady things, right?
Back in the early days of Bitcoin and crypto, we didn't even call it crypto. We called it Bitcoin because there were no other coins or tokens, really. The people that unfortunately were the ones that were using it in the early days were the ones who were kind of being kicked out of the legacy financial systems. And of course, you're going to have people who are buying and selling different things on the internet and doing whatever they want to do. But over time, just like how we all use Spotify and iTunes nowadays to listen to music, but the early days, most people downloaded music illegally on Napster and LimeWire.
Right. Yeah,
Good
without a doubt. So what has changed for you in 10 years?
Definitely a lot of humility.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah, I think in 10 years, just recently, I think I finally got a validation, an affirmation from the world, the global financial and just the whole community, the global community of that this Bitcoin thing, this technology that we've been like just constantly like putting our whole lives into it, especially in the years of 2010 to 2013ish or 2014. We finally now got that like affirmation that we weren't doing it all for nothing, that this is actually something that's changing the world in a meaningful way. And every aspect of everything will be powered by blockchain technology, just like how we used to call it, internet mail. And now it's just mail. You don't even, do the, nothing is going on the internet anymore. It's all online. Blockchain technology is doing the same thing.
Right, without a doubt. I mean, you're on the ground floor of it, and you're still with it 10 years later, even after, all the trials and tribulations. Right? I mean, I
think it going to prison and then coming out of it, and then having this huge global like industry of crypto and Bitcoin and everything else that comes with it, and the culture and the ideology around it, like coming out of prison with a fear that I may not ever have a job again. I don't know what I'm going to do. And then coming out to this world that now exists because I fought so hard to make it so. And while I was in there, I didn't really have I couldn't really see it. I couldn't really feel what we had built. 2 years later, I come out and it's like, oh my God, what is this thing? Is real. It's grown. It's normalized.
Yeah, your children just went to school, huh?
Yeah.
Right?
And pretty soon they're going to be going to college.
Yeah, it's like it all comes. And I think when the average guy starts hearing about it, that's when, really it starts, taking off, when it becomes, a topic of conversation on all the business reports, when you got, big guys like yourself and, Elon Musk. And, my husband just got involved in Dogecoin. What's your thoughts?
It's a bad idea.
Great.
My friend founded Dogecoin, and he tells me that we were all around when Dogecoin was started as a joke to protest against some of the censorship that was happening within the Bitcoin ecosystem at the time, where on the very few places that you can talk about Bitcoin, they were only allowing you to talk about Bitcoin and not the other thing.
Right.
And the founder of Dogecoin felt that within the ethos of that, and literally when he started it, he just created like a billion of these things, and for years just traded at nothing. So like right now, I wouldn't recommend anyone doing any of those like scam coins, because they're just pump and dumps. You're just going to lose your money. You're sure, you may make money, but at the same time, are you going to actually sell? Most people never end up doing it, or just keep doubling down and losing their shirts.
I mean, that's kind of eye-opening, right?
It looks like you got to average down, Kimberly.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
So what about this Bitcoin right now at 42.8? Is this time to get in, or is it going to drop some more?
I was like saying last night, actually, I'm like, when am I feeling this maximum fear? It's coming, but it's not there yet. Bitcoin and the whole crypto space follows the price of Bitcoin, but it's very correlated. And so when everyone's going through maximum pain, and you go from a price, and it's not just like the price of one coin goes up, you look at it as the total value that's locked in to the whole crypto space is $2 trillion. When that number is going up and down on a daily basis, that's like a scarier thought. So when certain prices are going down of Bitcoin and the prices of other things are going up, that doesn't really make me sad right now, because that just means Bitcoin's going down today and another coin is going up tomorrow.
Right.
The money is still in crypto.
Good point.
It's not leaving. That $2 trillion number is not going away. It's never been going away. It's just now cycling through in the space.
Yeah.
Crypto, you're not going to see like for the next, watch. I will literally predict what's going to happen.
Okay.
In the next 2-3 years.
Wait a minute, Charlie. Wait a minute. I'm writing this down. Okay, go ahead.
You're going to see all over the news this new term. You're going to see crypto equities, crypto this, crypto that, crypto stocks, or crypto whatever. These are going to be equities or versions of commodities or stocks that now trade on a blockchain. And those will become so easy to use and so normal. And people will say, why did we ever, have a stock certificate with depository, DTCC and blah, 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 and all these rules and illiquid abilities to move money around the world. And sometimes moving money from one account to the other, you have to write a check from one of your own accounts to another one of your own accounts. Who's done that? It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to realize that, wow, this technology, this is what we should have been doing forever.
And so really the goal of you, Charlie, is to have this take the place of all that. It's just a new way to do business.
Rebuild the plumbing. Redo the plumbing. If you have cast iron and you want to put PVC, you don't, sleeving doesn't really work. I'm not really a plumber, but you don't go in there and try to,
right.
Do it half-assed. You got to just do the whole thing from scratch.
So you're saying the whole world's economy is a fixer-upper.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't have to tell you that. Look at right now what's going on in the whole world. We're just printing money in order to backstop everything.
Well, what do you say? And we're talking with Charlie Shrem. He has founded BitInstant and is a huge success in Bitcoin, a genius, and is doing a podcast. He's in Rochester making a movie. You pretty well are. And I want to talk about your movie. Compared to us,
everybody's a genius.
Right. But really, how do you tell people that might be afraid that they think they're going to get ripped off buying some of this on the internet?
I tell people don't buy anything. Don't buy any coins or tokens. The first thing I tell people to do is download a Bitcoin or a crypto wallet, an app on your phone that you're comfortable with. Download it, and you can buy a US dollar denominated token. So the token never goes up or down. It's just backed 1-to-1 by a dollar, issued by banks here in the US, right? Play around with it. Be comfortable with it, transacting over a blockchain in a wallet. You never have to worry about price going up or down because you're using it. Once you know how to use it and you've used it, you'll never make a bad decision. You'll never tell me, my husband's buying Dogecoin, because your husband will have played around with it and say, this is actually kind of stupid. I'm not going to buy that now. So that's how I tell people, go use it. And then you'll know what to do. Right.
Exactly. I mean, how long do you think it's going to be, Charlie, before the, normal businesses that are out there are going to start accepting Bitcoin? Can I buy a house? I'm a realtor. Can I buy a house with Bitcoin? Can one of my clients come to me and say, hey, I have Bitcoin. I'd like to buy one of your houses?
you're looking at Bitcoin as a currency that's like going to replace the dollar, and that's kind of like the wrong way to look at it. The answer is yes. You can buy anything. You can settle any debt around the world right now in Bitcoin. If you have any debt, if I want to buy something anywhere in the world for $10 million, and I tell someone I want to give you Bitcoin, no one's going to say no. Like you said, everyone's heard of Bitcoin now. Everyone knows it trades. So yes, if you're a realtor and you were selling a house and I approached you and said, hey, I'm going to pay in Bitcoin, I guarantee you would figure it out. You would say, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's a sale.
Absolutely.
It's fine. It's settlement finality. It's a debt instrument now. It's global. It's been around for 10 years. It's a constant 24-hour a day tug of war between buyers and sellers, but trying to buy and sell this thing 24 hours a day with billions of dollars. And the price that you see is that perfect middle tug of war. And it's like diamonds are made from pressure, and that's where you get that price. So I just feel it's safer.
You love what you do.
Yeah, you sound very passionate. Yes.
I am.
I mean, you love what you do. All right, now you're a married guy, right?
Yes.
And does your wife share the same passion, or did you have
My wife was actually when we were dating 9 years ago. When we first started dating, she was a waitress at a bar that was the first bar to accept Bitcoin.
Really?
So that's where we kind of all met. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool. In Brooklyn, in New York City.
So how many Bitcoins?
New York City.
How many Bitcoins did a drink cost back then?
Oh, you'd buy a bottle of champagne for like 1,000 Bitcoin back then.
Think about it. Yeah, I was reading online. Some guy bought a couple of pizzas for like 10,000 Bitcoins.
It is crazy.
Which is like 500 million now.
And you told that story on 60 Minutes. I mean, you were on 60 Minutes. Anderson Cooper, talked to you.
Today is actually Bitcoin Pizza Day. How funny is that? Today is the day that Laszlo bought those 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin.
10,000 Bitcoin.
Right. So tell the story.
I forget, I think it was 2010 or early 2011, 2010. Sorry, Laszlo, May 18th. He was just a kid on the forums, on the Bitcoin forums, where it was the only place that we all hung out. It was like an online message board. And he just posted a message.
So that's where all the cool kids were hanging out back then?
This is where it was like literally my social circle back then. It was like my whole, that was my life. That was my Friday night. And so Laszlo posted and he said, hey, is there anyone who's willing to, I'll pay 10,000 Bitcoin to anyone who's willing to deliver me a pizza. He just posted that. And someone said, all right, well, you send me this 10,000 Bitcoin. I'm going to pay $18 of my own money, call Domino's and send you this pizza or whatever it was. And that was seen as the first transaction because you have this like digital money that was worth nothing because like 10,000 Bitcoin wasn't a big deal. You go to bitcoinfaucet.com, you type in your Bitcoin address, and then the faucet would put 1,000 Bitcoin in your address just for fun to play around with.
Wow.
So like 10,000 Bitcoin it was like in-game currency when you play game on. But the only reason Bitcoin is valued now 10 years later is because so many people over the years just believe in the technology, believe it is a store of value, want to use it. And like now that those 10,000 Bitcoin for pizzas, I mean, who knew, right?
Who knew exactly?
Now, what about mining? Is mining a bad idea? What is it? How does that work? And how do you set that up?
One of the best investments in Bitcoin or any crypto is to just buy that asset and hold it long term or try to earn it in some way. Bitcoin mining as an industry is very good for tax deference. Like if you want to be able to, I actually had a publicly traded CEO of a mining company explain the economics of mining on my podcast, Untold Stories. And he explained it all, how basically, it's like all of the capital that's coming in, it's going 100% into mining. So that's like all R&D. And then what comes out is that profit, which then they can choose when to actually realize the profits based on when the appreciation of Bitcoin price it is what it is. And it's a pretty brilliant mechanism. Short answer is no one should mine in their basement. No one should mine like Bitcoin. But if you know of, there are like some really cool up and coming cryptos that allow for some cool things. Someone was showing me this crypto that actually is of something you buy, like it looks like your cable box. And basically what it is if enough people in your neighborhood have these boxes, they all connect as a mesh network. and then you
Wow.
can replace like the cell phone networks or whatever. Obviously need a lot of people because they all need to be within like 20, 30 feet of each other. So their version of mining is if you buy, or if you just install the box in your house, they'll pay you out like their token, which has a value as traded on exchange. So that's technically considered mining.
I mean, what? I mean, its whole thing
It's insane.
sounds, so futuristic,
What
right? doesn't it?
coin?
Yeah, it
What,
really
what
is.
what coin can you suggest that's like dirt cheap right now that you think's got a shot to do something in the next 5 years?
Which coins or tokens?
Yeah, which
I'm looking at a lot of like platform coins and coins and tokens that are issued by companies themselves. So you have a lot of like some of these, and you're going to see them come out in the near future, is like some of the companies that you and I know, maybe financial institutions, maybe retailers, stuff like that, that are going to issue their own like token. That's instead of a loyalty point, they'll have a token that instead of you can only be traded in their own marketplace, you can use it across anywhere, traded on exchanges. I'm like buying a lot of those type of coins and tokens because I see a future in them.
Hey,
Oh,
Charlie
okay.
Shrem is our guest on the Kimberly's Revolution podcast, We the People podcast network. So 2010, 2011, things were looking spectacular. Your life was pretty damn good, Charlie, right? I mean, you were living the life. That's a great idea. Bitcoin was happening. It was happening for you. It was happening fast. It was blowing up big. What happened? What
It was
happened?
crazy. I had CNBC, Fox News, NBC one day. The next day you'd have three more. I don't know how I was juggling the news, the mainstream media that was coming to my house just to talk about Bitcoin.
Sure.
And my ego was inflating. It was getting crazy. I was walking around like my crap didn't stink, I was going on TV and I was saying like, we're going to take over the whole world financial system and I pissed off a lot of people. I was young and stupid. And at the same time,
Charlie, didn't you watch The Wolf of Wall Street like everybody else?
I watched it while I was in prison.
Of course I did.
Maybe you should have saw that first because it ended badly.
So you're walking around and you're thinking life is pretty damn good. I'm Charlie Shrem. Don't you know who I am?
I'm running the largest Bitcoin exchange in the world, accumulating for 30% of all the global volume at this point, which again was a huge, but still was something. And at the same time, I allowed this customer of ours at BitInstant to just buy Bitcoin when I knew that he was going on like Silk Road and then reselling that Bitcoin to people. And you can't do that. Over time, they realized, the government said, hey, these Bitcoin companies are actually like somewhat financial institutions. You can't just allow people to just do, and I'm running this company out of my parents' basement. I'm the janitor, I'm the compliance officer,
Sure.
I'm the CEO.
Right.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm 20 years old. Well, obviously
Crazy.
that doesn't work in federal court. So I spent 2 years in prison. Yeah.
So when they arrested you, you were at JFK, right? You were coming back. You were flying all over. You were coming back in from being somewhere. They arrested you at JFK, right?
Yes.
And then they took you. I mean, did you actually go to federal prison, or were you on house arrest for the majority?
So for the first 24 hours, I was in a federal holding cell, and then I did 7 months or so on house arrest with an ankle bracelet.
Yeah.
Then I did another 18 months inside a penitentiary, and then I did 3 years of federal probation that I just finished.
Oh, okay.
So the whole thing, 7 years of my life, my freedom lost.
Wow. All in your 20s too, right? I mean,
Yeah, I was lucky that I was able to get off probation a month before I turned 30.
that's it. That is amazing.
Congratulations.
Congrats. So yeah, exactly. What did your folks say when you said, "Hey, the feds arrested
Did
me,
they say,
Mom"?
"Oh, that's just Charlie being Charlie"?
That's just Charlie.
I think my parents knew that I was special when I was younger and didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And they grew up, my parents are very religious and a very religious, like Orthodox Jewish community. And I was raised to actually become a rabbi and go through that whole process. And I was very religious growing up. But I just like with anything, I wanted to explore and figure out the world for myself. And I would look around and look at what like the ultimate happiness was for my friends and family that were in that community. And that happiness wasn't something that made me happy.
Right.
So I left. I left the community. I was excommunicated from my family, and I haven't spoken or seen from them in even since before really prison.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not.
Wow, that's got to be hard every day, right?
Yeah.
But were you married at the time to your wife when you went to federal prison?
We were just dating.
And she stuck
Like 6
she
months.
stuck with you. That's a keeper, Charlie.
Oh yeah, it was
That's-
great. We were lucky that I was able to be assigned to a prison not far from where she grew up. So she left New York and moved back home with her mom and was able to come visit me every weekend. And we were able to like really have a good life in there as best as possible.
Was it Camp Cupcake or was federal prison tough?
Dude, I wish they still had
Camp
those like
Cupcake.
Camp Cupcakes. So I actually had a really good opportunity because I was because my designation, like I wasn't a threat or whatever. They let me run the snowplow for like around the prison gates, like around like the walls and the gates and stuff. No, I'm
So
serious.
they didn't give you a computer and
That's
let you do
fun.
anything with it?
No.
No, of course not. In fact, no.
Charlie,
they
here's
put
the
me to
internet.
work like hardcore.
Can you
put
do
me
our
to-
taxes?
Yeah, right. They wanted me to do like GED stuff, like to teach people. So I'm doing these doing the snowplow, and they let me. They took me over to the old penitentiary that used to be like a Club Fed type of place,
Right.
and because they wanted us to maintain the grounds because they had already shut it down. And man, I was looking at this place, and I'm like, this is nice. This is like the Greenbrier.
Right.
Catskills. It's like really nice. But they shut it down, alas. But that's where a lot of these like, white collar criminals in the 90s went. And I'm like, they have bocce and tennis and everything.
Not for Charlie Shrem, though.
No, not for Charlie. I just keep missing it. Yeah, and they banned cigarettes a few years before. So I was a smoker. I quit smoking. So I kept missing out like all the good stuff about jail.
Yeah. Isn't that always the way, Charlie? Isn't so? You get out of jail and you do what? Did I hear that you were working at a restaurant? I mean, it brought you down to ground zero.
It made me have to go through what most people have to go through. I went from like being in college and going from high school and thrust into this Bitcoin world, and I had never had a normal job having people yell at you all the time working. I won't hire you if you've not worked at a restaurant or in retail, because you need to be able to have your dignity like on a daily basis, just be able to bite your tongue.
That's true.
I never went through that before. So it was definitely like a humbling experience.
And so you did that, and you're, with the Bitcoin, you found your way back. You've worked your way back up because you're a fighter, and obviously you're, a type A guy who likes, success. I can tell that. And what do you have? What's the company now? Is that called Crypto Q? Is that what it's called?
I started, one of the things I started doing when I got out is helping companies problem solve and avoid some of the red flags that I had made.
Right.
And especially early in crypto. In fact, every CEO of every Bitcoin company tells me right now when they talk to me, because I'm friends with them all, the day I got arrested, they started taking like anti-money laundering compliance seriously.
Yeah. So
if I was the person that needed to make the rest of my industry take it seriously, I'm okay with that legacy. That's fine with me,
Sure.
So I started Crypto IQ over the course of a few years ago to help with education advisory. I've since I sold that to Investor Place, and you can go, and I have another big I do a great educational service through them, and it's beautiful. Every month I write a magazine and put it out to my subscribers. But really, I just love doing this gospelizing. I have a podcast, untoldstories.com, and then people follow my Twitter, and I love doing crypto, Bitcoin, everything.
How often do you do your podcast?
I record 5 days a week, but as you know how like it ends up being where some of the guests don't show up or things happen. So probably like 3 days
Shocker.
a week. Yeah.
We were like, Charlie's going to be in studio, and then Charlie's not going to be in studio. But you know
No,
what?
I'm so sorry. I had a rough night last night.
Years of radio, I can roll with it. It irritates me, but I can roll with it. But so yeah.
Well, actually, my guest this morning on my podcast didn't show up either, and I have to like call a backup. I have backup guests, yeah, but he was actually ill, and I know him. He's a friend of mine. It happens. I love doing it. It's my 2-year anniversary of the show.
Right.
It's hard doing podcast. I have so much respect for you. It's not easy.
It's
the hardest job.
It
well,
is hard.
especially on Bitcoin Pizza Day.
I know.
That's a big holiday for you.
We didn't know, or we would have celebrated.
No, it's all good.
So Charlie, you're in Rochester, and by the way, there's been documentaries. You've been in documentaries. I mean, you're no stranger to film, and you're in Rochester. And you're filming a movie. Is that my understanding?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean,
I'm not in the movie. The film was called Ask Me to Dance. It's a romantic comedy, and actually, how it all came about was I have a crypto friend who knew my best friend who ended up was friends with Tom Malloy, who's the director and the writer of this film, who lives here in Rochester, and he knew that my wife was an actress as well. So that it all happened behind the scenes without me. And then after it was like, oh, she's doing a movie in Rochester. So I was like, all right, can I kind of be involved in that? Where's my in?
So you just wanted to tag along for the ride and get thrown a bone.
I'm sitting in the trailer playing Grand Theft Auto, hanging out.
And your wife is working.
And she's working.
And you're talking to us.
She's working right now. Yeah, like it's great. Being on set is so much fun. We've been shooting at all locations around the city, from Greece to Webster to everywhere. It's been like Java Coffee downtown is awesome. And we were filmed in Max's, and then I think Kent Park till 5 a.m. the other night. Oh, and that bridge that goes over the Genesee River of University of Rochester.
The Freddie Sue Bridge.
That bridge.
I'm sorry to everyone because we blocked the bridge that evening and we couldn't let people come. I'm so sorry, guys.
The one that did that?
There you go.
Damn it, Charlie.
Hey, why does that river flow backwards? It's very odd.
Because there's mountains to the south of us.
Because there's pollution, and that's what it does.
I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yes. It is our one claim to fame that our river flows backwards. Thanks for reminding us.
That's just how screwed up
but
things.
I love the food up here. I miss New York food so much. Like, Florida's amazing. I live down there, but the food does not compare.
Make sure you can get a garbage plate before you leave.
I'm sure.
I had one last night.
Oh,
it was
nice.
Spectacular.
Dude, that's why you didn't want to move today out of the trailer, because he had a garbage plate last night. That's what his problem is. So what's the movie called again? What's the name of the movie?
Ask Me to Dance.
Ask Me to Dance. And so what are we looking at? About a year out, possibly two?
Valentine's Day of 2021, right? Is that this year? Yeah, like this coming Valentine's Day.
2022?
2022.
That's pretty. Is the movie, are they dealing in Bitcoin with the movie and getting it produced that way?
Actually, no. The movie ended up getting produced by, there were some like former Bitcoin people who made their fortunes in crypto and are looking for ways to like make money other ways. And so some of those people invested in this film, but it kind of came to its own in its own way. It was really nice to see. It's nice to see things happening on their own. And it's crazy. You have 50 people working on set. People don't realize that these are mini companies that are very these are not like I hate to say like white collar like jobs. These are local people that are working. It's very, very skilled labor. So I really see now why these states and cities want film projects to come to their cities, because oh my God, it's crazy. Yeah.
And Rochester and Buffalo in the last year and a half, 2 years has been kind of a hub for movie making, which is, we love. We love seeing Rochester and Western New York on the big screen. That's kind of a cool deal. Let me ask you one more thing, and then we'll let you get out of here. The cyber criminals that attacked Colonial Pipeline, the gas pipeline. You heard about that last week, right?
Yeah. How crazy was that?
Yeah,
so
insane, right? And of course the guys were like, well, we didn't really mean to, to do that
Charlie,
to a
where were you on that night?
No, my question is, they said that they mostly attacked big business, but they didn't like to bring harm to or hardship to others, which is bullcrap. But my question is, Colonial Pipeline paid them the ransom that they were looking for. Did they pay for that in crypto?
Yeah, they paid in Bitcoin for that $5 million ransom.
That's what I thought.
Crazy.
So that's, you can never trace where that goes, right? It's just out there.
That's the beautiful thing. You can. It's so easy, and the criminals are so stupid. Bitcoin is like a big honeypot for financial crime. If you try to use it, it's traceable. Everyone right now can follow that money. You can see the payment. You can follow it all the time, forever. It's on a blockchain. You can never not follow it.
So-
whereas if they paid with a wire transfer, there's no transparency there. There's zero transparency. What the hell are banks doing right now with all that money?
Right.
They're just laundering it cycle. Whereas like on the blockchain, it's all public. So those criminals will be caught. My friends in government tell me that they love when the ransomware comes in Bitcoin because they can always catch it at the end of the day.
And that's something that we didn't know that we know now.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you that. Shit, I shouldn't have said that in the media because
I'm
they
gonna have
want the
to,
criminals to
I'm
not
gonna
know
have to
that.
change all my strategy for my future events.
I was going to get on the dark webs.
Yes,
If I knew how to get there, I would get there, but I don't. Charlie, you're a treat.
Awesome.
We're glad that you could come on our show, our Kimberly's Revolution, the We the People podcast network. You've been great, and I welcome here to Rochester. And we're glad you and your wife are here, and we wish you nothing but success in Bitcoin future. And one of these days, I think that everyone's going to be dealing in Bitcoin. I mean, I don't see it like next week or next month, but eventually we're going to get to that point, right?
Yeah, I think so. Many years down the road, not today or tomorrow or anything like that, but it's a very new and welcoming industry, and we really are trying to attract as much talent as possible. So if there's any like local Rochester crypto folk, please get in touch with me, and we'd love to hire you. People are always trying to be hired in this space all the time.
Without a
All
doubt.
right.
Thank you. Hey,
Thanks
listen.
for calling in, buddy.
Yeah, take care, all right?
Thank you. You take care. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
thank you. There he is, Charlie Shrem. He founded Bit Instant. It was a huge success. Got on the wrong side of the law a couple of years later and went to prison, federal prison for 2 years.
Mhm.
And now has built himself back up. And they're in Rochester. They're filming a movie. It's a romantic comedy. They've been filming all over Rochester, which is kind of cool deal. So that was Charlie Shrem on Bitcoin. He says Dogecoin is a bad idea.
That's what he said.
Dogecoin. Hi, Chad Hummel.
Wait a second. Was that a criminal with an intellectual component to the show?
Yes.
Is he taking my spot?
Yeah. Are you a criminal? Listen, I think getting arrested for not wearing a mask and trespassing makes you hardcore.
Oh yeah.
You're a hardcore.
I'm hardened.
Yeah. So the name of our show today was Gettin Boojee with Bitcoin.
All right.
Because
So when my mother calls me special, it's a different type of special.
I don't think that they mean the special that Charlie Shrem was special.
Right.
I mean, the
Did
guy
she
was
add to the end of that?
super
Maybe.
smart. They're all these super smart guys. I mean, he's being sued by the Winklevoss twins of Facebook fame back in the day because Mark Zuckerberg went to school with the Winklevoss twins. I mean, they're all multimillionaires,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
And he said he didn't watch The Wolf of Wall Street until after he was in prison.
Yeah.
I said that was probably
Fail.
a bad idea.
Should watch Shawshank.
Does he want to sponsor the show?
It would be great if he would sponsor the show. By the way, we love our sponsors because they support us. So we hope that you guys support our sponsors. Fantuzzo's Acupuncture. We also have Precision Lawn and Garden in Webster. We also love Express Sealers and our other sponsor, Taylor Heating and Plumbing. Call Jerry for all your heating and plumbing needs. He will set you up and get you fixed. So I will just tell you that they support us, and we need you our patriots to support our sponsors. So if you need a lawnmower, or if you have a heating and air conditioning problem, if you need some little work on your body, Fantuzzo's Acupuncture, Taylor Heating and Plumbing. Of course, Precision Lawn and Garden. And if you need your driveway sealed, Express Sealers. Express Sealers. They will help you out. Chad is stepping in because today is a big voting day, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
you
school board
quote
elections.
unquote, you need a little work on your body.
You need a little work.
I think
Don't
I'm
we
in
all
trouble.
need a little work on our body?
That's why I'm here.
All right, buddy.
All right.
You got 5 minutes.
And now the news.
Now the news.
And now the news. You
All
got
right.
5 minutes.
It sounds like you guys had a great show, so I'm going to come in here and destroy it at the end.
I got-
Well, here's the thing.
we still
boring
have Tom-
school board.
We still
stuff.
have Tom's one good take for
in
today.
in Webster, I guess there's been a lot of hate throwing around with the school board. And let me just say, Carm Gamina exits
Bite your tongue.
as the Webster superintendent with a nice little parachute.
Oh yeah, $500,000, I think.
His out,
All
what-
in Bitcoin.
all in
No, they didn't
It's
pay him in Bitcoin.
all taxpayer dollars.
Yep.
He's getting out of there with 500,000 of Webster taxpayer dollars. So, I've seen the back and forth on social media, and it's ridiculous. That the people are saying, oh, there's this whole contingent of haters trying to bring down people within the Webster School District. There are people in the Webster School District that need to be brought down a peg or two.
100%.
Can we just say that? I mean, what was going on in the Webster School District with this Callie Watkins, Carm Gamina,
Club Med,
all the chicks that they were banging, and Mr. Gamina is a married man. I don't know how that's working out, but I mean,
She's going to get half of that 500.
your tax dollars at work in Webster, right? But we've got a lot of stuff going on in school districts today. People are going to vote, right?
Yeah. So great segue there. Let's talk about Webster.
Yeah, let's do.
So if you don't want this to continue, if you don't want the type of behavior that Carm Gamina fostered in the Webster School District for decades, if you don't want that to continue, then it's time to do something about it. Today is your one day to do something about it. And that is to go in and vote for the candidates for the Board of Education that are not going to allow those things to happen. What we've seen with the Carm Gamina situation, right out of the words of the president of the Board of Education in Webster's mouth, Tammy Gorowski, she has said on the record that she sees their job as the Board of Education to protect the superintendent.
What?
Not to educate your children.
No, that's not the job.
Not to protect your children.
No.
Those were her words.
That's all. That's screwed up.
Yeah, those were her words.
Okay.
So there's an individual that's running for school board in Webster. Her name is Sarah Bell Dole, Dolle. You're going to want to go cast your vote for Sarah Bell in Webster today. Get out to the polling stations in Webster. Now, do you guys know what a bullet vote is? Have you guys heard of what a bullet vote is?
Yeah, it's when you vote for one candidate out of many.
Yeah. So, for example, the situation in Webster is if you're like-minded with individuals like Sarah Bell, and she's the only candidate that's like-minded with you in Webster, if there are more than one spot open for school board. So let's say there are 3 candidates that are running for 2 spots. Instead of voting for 2 different individuals, you just want to vote for Miss Bell. Just vote for Sarah Bell.
That's easy.
Yeah, if the other 2 individuals aren't like-minded with you, then there's no point in watering down your vote that you're making for Sarah by voting for one of those other individuals.
I think you can do that.
Yeah, so it's called a bullet vote. If there's just one candidate, or even if there's 2 candidates that you want to vote for, and there's 3 spots available, just fill the 1 or the 2 spots with the candidates that are most aligned with your thought processes. And then I'll just quickly go through a few other districts where I have some candidate information. In Churchville, Chili, you want to get out and vote for Ashley Casaselli. Ashley Casaselli is a resident of the town of Churchville, Chili. She has children in that district, and she's running for school board. Also, Alicia Nagel. So those are your 2 votes in Churchville, Chili, Ashley Casaselli and Alicia Nagel. Out in Fairport, we have Nate Brown and Stacy Shell. I don't know how many spots are open, but again, you want to cast your votes for Nate Brown and Stacy Shell. If there's more spots to vote for, leave them blank. Just vote the bullet votes for Nate Brown and Stacy Shell. In Pittsford, this is a classic bullet vote situation. There's only one candidate in Pittsford that's
worthy.
Again, that's worthy in our opinion, right? In the if you're like-minded like we are, her name is Nicole Sidhu. That's Sidhu. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that correctly. Nicole Sidhu. So, if there's anyone out there listening and you
get out and vote,
and there's any candidates that you want to plug, we have Greece, we have Irondequoit, we have Hilton. There's many other districts that are at play tonight.
In Hilton, do you have
I don't. I try to gather as much information as I could.
Okay.
There are a bunch of commies in Hilton.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah.
And
my daughter went to Hilton School.
Alleged child molestation.
Oh, that was the principal of the
elementary school.
The elementary school. Yeah, there's whatever it is. Northwood. Chloe didn't go to Northwood. Chloe went to the Village Elementary in Hilton, but yeah, that was a big situation where people just ignored what was going on in the principal's office. Might be a little bit of a problem there. So yeah, the whole Carm Gamina thing, I think if people knew how much money he was getting in his out contract, I think they'd be a little shocked. But that's why the podcast is here, is to, bring up the situation that a lot of people might not know. I mean, here's a guy, it was a little Peyton Place going on in Webster. I mean, they can paint a nice rosy picture, but what was happening in that school district was not the education of your children, right? It was anything but the education of your children, anything and everything except the education of your children.
Exactly.
And then they didn't have the best in mind for your children either. That's the really bad thing. So we always do. So Just Tom has a take that he does always
Only on Monday and Tuesday.
only on Monday and Tuesday. We don't do it on Wednesday because
that's the big show.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the little show.
This is just a little show.
Right.
So what's your take for today? Tom's
All right.
take.
Tom's one good take for today. I got to take.
And by the way, do you have Bitcoin? Do you?
I
it
do.
does have Bitcoin.
Do you?
I do, and I just found out apparently why it's in the trash right now, and that's because what? Because of the hack that they were ransomed money. I just found out there at the end.
Yeah.
What happened there?
It's down. I think it's down to like 42
Yeah.
grand,
It was
right?
it was up over 60.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because of the ransom was paid off. I don't know.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
So they used my money.
Probably.
So what's your take?
My one good take today is crypto kitties.
Crypto kitties.
See, crypto
Hey!
kitties.
Meow.
Okay.
I like a crypto kitty.
They're like Pokemon.
Okay.
They're a token or a coin that you buy.
What the hell happened to this show?
And it's a takeoff, I guess, of a video game in 2017. The average price of a crypto kitty is $65.76.
Serious.
Now, the difference between a crypto kitty and regular crypto
Okay.
is that they're unique. There's only one crypto kitty. So if you want crypto, but you want something unique and not like what everybody else has got,
Right.
then you can buy a crypto kitty. And one of them is sold for more than 300,000.
Can I just say something?
Austin, I want you to put a stop
What?
to this immediately.
This all sounds like bullshit, doesn't it?
It's run
Doesn't it-
on the on one of the main blockchain networks, and it works like Pokemon. And there's millions of
See,
dollars in sales every
And
year.
I know Charlie
Millions
said,
of
"Hey,
dollars.
but it doesn't sound legit to me. How do you make something of it?
You own a crypto kitty,
And you do what
you
with
buy
it?
it for somebody
I can't
for their
take
birthday.
it to Wegmans.
No, you buy it for somebody for their birthday as an investment, and hopefully in 10 years, your $60 crypto kitty's worth $6,000. It's an investment, and you own this little cute crypto kitty.
Is that
Or-
is that like a bond?
Or maybe it just goes away and
Or
you're
maybe
out.
it's worth zero.
You're
But,
right.
You know, for a birthday present or a Christmas present for a little kid,
Yeah.
you know, that could be a great investment.
A crypto kitty.
A crypto kitty
Or maybe it's
Okay.
like my Andre Dawson rookie baseball card that's worth nothing now.
could be.
I mean, can
Yeah.
you go on and buy crypto kitty right now?
Yeah, you can buy them right now online.
Really?
Mhm.
Do you have crypto kitty?
No,
Okay.
He has doggy coin.
I have Dogecoin.
Is that what you have?
So he
Yeah.
shit on Dogecoin. Huh?
He did shit on.
I
it.
love it.
Yeah. He said that it was never meant to be what it's turned out to be. It was meant as a joke. It was meant as a joke because they were trying to make a point in regard to other cryptocurrency, right? And so they thought that they would, come up with something that proved some point or whatever Charlie Shrem said. I mean, but this guy's a multimillionaire.
Dogecoin update for the day.
Yeah.
47.7 cents. So
You know what? Tomorrow we're going to talk about the book of Cuomo. Cuomo's book came out, Blood Money, right? I'm calling it Blood Money, but I think the name of the book is called American Crisis: Leadership Lessons from the COVID-19 Pandemic. The lessons we've learned is that your grandparents died after he sent, elderly people from the hospital back into the nursing home.
Forced him in.
Forced them back into the nursing home, and then they died and they infected other people and they died. And we do know that the 5.1 million over a payout till 2022 for the book American Crisis was primarily researched and put together by his underlings, by his minions who were doing the work, writing the book, and he gets all the glory and all the money. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's
That
the
there
way
were-
it works, though, right?
There were people on his staff writing paragraphs for the book.
Sure.
The paragraphs that he was supposed to be writing.
Did you, Kimberly? Let's face it, you didn't do your homework, right?
We
Somebody
can-
did your homework. In
Yeah, I
school?
did. I did all my homework.
You did?
Yeah, because I was too stupid to have other people do. Yeah, but the American Crisis and here's the thing:
He's a crook.
ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, none of them talked about the $5.1 million deal that he had with the book publisher.
That was just his advance.
That was just his advance.
Supposedly, he's also getting $1 million in royalty payments in the upcoming year.
Yeah, as the payment rolls out.
Yeah,
right.
He's got multiple more $1 million payments.
Sounds like it's time for him to go.
Doesn't that blow you away?
Yeah.
I mean, and the only reason we know that it was a $5.1 million deal is because his taxes were released yesterday.
Because he got paid in Bitcoin and they traced it.
Probably. Yeah. Gettin Boojee with Bitcoin was the name of the show today, and we appreciate it. So
Thanks for showing up, Chad.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to be in jail tomorrow, right? You're going to be with us tomorrow?
I think I'll be free tomorrow.
Kimberly's Revolution?
Yeah,
You're going to be here?
I should be out and about.
You look very relaxed today.
What are we going to... You got stuff you're going to tell us about tomorrow? Anything good?
Well, if I got to check the mail to see if I got any letters today.
Yeah, do check that.
I'll come up with something.
That between May 14th and today, there have been 10 people shot in the city of Rochester. 10 people shot in the city of Rochester from May 14th till today. So, yeah,
the police aren't allowed to do their job.
They are not allowed to do their job.
They can't get in trouble if they don't do their job.
It's sickening is really what it is. All right, that's it for Kimberly's Revolution. Tomorrow,
right.
Kimberly's Revolution is at 4:00 live.
The big show.
Right here in the We the People Podcast Network studios. Of course, Kimberly's Revolution is produced by Rock Vox Productions. Rock Vox Productions is right over in Bushnell's Basin. Fitz owns that. So if you or any of your friends or family or, work friends or company that you work for wants to put together a podcast, Rock Vox Productions, of course, will set all that up for you. And they do a great job over there in Bushnell's Basin. So we thank Fitz. Austin, great job today.
Beauty.
Great job today.
Brother Austin.
Yeah, that's right. And so
vote no on your school budget tonight.
Vote no.
Vote no.
Vote now.
Very good.
God bless.
Yeah.
Be kind to others.
Thank you.
Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.